Today I'm going to show you something really basic. I know it's going to seem really boring when we're doing it, but it's going to be really important for us later on, particularly when we get to a magazine and we're going to be starting to combine multiple images into single JPEG files. So to get ourselves started, I've got 4 images on my screen, so I'm going to show you them. I've got the paper JPEG, giraffe, leopard, lion. I've just picked 3 random animals and the paper. And this paper background has been shared with you on our Classroom resources page. So I want you to download that and open that. So that's our background for today's image. And then what I want you to do is find 3 images, any 3 images you like. I've picked 3 animals. I just went onto Google Images, found 3 nice pictures of some nice animals. You could pick 3 of your favorite athletes, maybe your 3 favorite football teams, maybe your 3 favorite food items, whatever it is, 3 of anything, just so that we can learn this process of mixing images together. If you're stuck, steal my idea and use animals and just find your own 3 animal images. Get them open, get them into your Photoshop, and then I'm going to show you how to move them around. So the idea is that I want this giraffe image to be on this paper image, but when I go File, Open, Photoshop opens them as 4 separate images rather than opening one image into the other. So how do I get them in? Well, if I go to my giraffe, let's get started with giraffe. I need to make sure I have my move tool selected. So that's this tool up here. When you hover over it, it does show you what it's for. It's the move tool, so you can click and drag images. When I've got my move tool selected, I can click my image. And I know you can't see it on my screen, but I'm actually moving it around. So I'm going to hover over my paper tab. See, paper tab's now shown up. Drag onto my paper. I'm still holding my mouse down at this point. I'm still clicking and dragging. And then I release. And I now have my giraffe on this screen. I'm going to do that same for all 3. So back to my leopard, make sure I've got my move tool selected, click, drag, release. There it is. Sorry, it took a little while to load. These image files that I've picked are quite high resolution, as you might be able to see. So my poor old little laptop isn't coping very well. Lastly, lion, move tool selected, click, drag, release. And there we go. Now, if you're looking at my Photoshop layers, you should now see that I have 4 layers. One of them is the background, and then I've got my 3 animals. With my lion selected, move tool, I'm just going to click and drag, and I'm going to put it around about here maybe about there. Now, you might see on my screen when I'm clicking and dragging, see these purple pinky lines that are showing up? These are called smart guides. This is just a way to help organize the layout of your document. Photoshop has these built in to help you keep things centered, symmetrical, evenly sized, etc. So if you can't see those, you could go into View, Show, Smart Guides, make sure there's a tick next to that so you can see it, and that will solve your problem. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to get this leopard here, so make sure my leopard layer is selected. I want this leopard here to be sitting right next to my lion, but it's obviously too big, so I need to change the size. To do that, I need to use a tool called Transform. Okay, Transform, and particularly when I'm transforming, I want to scale it down, change the size so it's a smaller version. I can go to Image, I can go to Layer, I can go to Type, and there's so many different things for me to pick from. Okay, so how do I actually find what I want to do? Well, I'm just going to show you that you can go to Edit, Transform, Scale is one way. Okay, we're obviously editing the image. We want to transform or change the size of the image, and then we want to change it to a scale. Okay, and automatically you can see the outline appears. All those little boxes, these are called handles, and I can click and drag them to resize them. I can move them around. I can get them to line up with my smart guides. Okay. And that's all pretty cool, right? When I'm done and I'm finished, I just need to press the Enter key to finish the transformation. Now, otherwise, it doesn't actually let me do everything that I want to get done. Okay, and I've locked that in the center. Lastly, giraffe, and I want to transform that as well. Now, tell you a trick. I always forget where transform is. Okay, but I remember that I want to transform things and that starts with T. So Command T puts me into transform mode without having to find the menu. There's a quick, easy shortcut for you. Drag down the size, scale it down. Okay. Try and get the sizes roughly to line up. Get it roughly into a position that I'm going to be happy with, maybe somewhere about there. And enter. Locked it in. Now I've got my 3 images sitting on the crumpled paper, and I'm done. Okay. Showing you the transform tool. I've shown you how to use the edit menu, transform according to a scale to do it. Showing you the keyboard shortcut, Command T. Showing you how to move images. Now moving images in a Photoshop document or between Photoshop documents, same deal. Click the move tool, click and drag. Showing you smart guides. They're the purple lines that appear on the screen to help you line things up. And one of the last things I'm going to show you is just regarding some quick zooming things. Maybe you've put an image in and the size is just too big and you can't see it on your screen. If you use Command minus, that zooms you out really quickly. Keep pressing it, it gets smaller and smaller. Command plus will zoom you in. Now, the plus is directly next to the delete button, and the minus is directly next to that at the top of your keyboard near the 0 key. So you can always just use those to zoom in and out. So there's some quick, easy features for you. Now, when you're zoomed in, if I want to move over to the left, I can scroll using my trackpad on my mouse. I can use these sort of caveman bars down the bottom here. Or I can actually press the spacebar key and this hand appears, and that enables me to grab the image and sort of drag it over to where I need to. Okay. That's all I need to show you for today. I want you to download the paper background, open it up, get your own 3 images, line them up, get them evenly sized, roughly in the center, roughly evenly spaced. Save that one as a JPEG file, call it tutorial 3, and upload that to Google Classroom, please. Thanks very much. So file, export, quick export as PNG, okay? Not as a Photoshop version this time, I want it to be a PNG, and we're just going to call that tutorial 3, okay? Upload it to Google Classroom, and I'll have a look through it to make sure you're on the right track. Thanks very much, enjoy.